channel. Today I'm going to be riding a mare named Clover. Her rich name is Live Lucky, and she's sired by our stallion Tiny Bit of Luck, and she is out of a French and Sky Daughter. She had a little bit different start into things. From ages 3 to 6, she was shown in the Rain Cow Horse. I showed her out at Nationals in Wyoming for the high school rodeo on the cow horse, and Ryan Galantine had her for those 3 years in training. So this mare's super broke, she's super feely. She's kind of a little more late to start in the pattern. I just said my horses, you know, when they're 3-4 on the pattern, and she just got started this fall in it, and I just kind of played around things, took her to a few jackpots. Didn't do it a whole lot, turned her out this winter, and then started getting back on her again here within the last month. So her kind of problem, as you say, on the pattern is on the back side of the barrel, she'll want to get strung out and not keep following through the turn. She'll get flat and she doesn't want to like come through, and she also doesn't really like me helping her with my hands. So I gotta try to do the least amount possible. So I'm gonna show you a drill that I do with my horses to hold them more accountable on their turns. I do this a lot with my younger ones just to get them to like learn that the barrel is what they want to go into in turn. And I do as well with like my older horses that are more free runners. I need to get them coming back to me and to get them really hunting that turn. And I also do with horses like her that they're naturally rady, however on the backside they just need to keep turning through. So I'll go through this drill here and I'll kind of explain it as I go, and you'll see throughout the video that when I go into the barrel, I'm just going to put my hand down on her neck, I'm going to take my legs off her and make her find the turn, and I want to try to do the least amount as possible. And then when she gets by that barrel or quits like hunting it, I'm going to pick my hand up and steer her back to the turn and make her find it again. And the goal of this is I want to be able to eventually get to where I can go up to the turn, put my hand down, she's just going to stay in there and turn until I pick my hand back up and really drive out of that turn. And with this drill, it's something that I'll do with her. I'm going to actually do it all week just to get her more accountable and really hunting it, and then go back to the normal pattern. But with most horses, I do it about 1 to 2 times a week, depending on kind of what they need. And then I'll go back to the pattern and do my normal stuff where I'll pick them up, move them over, and let me handle them a little more. But like I said with her, she does not like me handling her. She'll kind of throw her head on the backside. So I want to get her, the goal for me is to get her to where I can just go into the barrel in a run and drop my hand. She's just going to turn. I don't have to help or touch her at all because she naturally just wants to go in there and work by herself. So I wanted to add a comment here to say that this video is going to be a little bit longer for the fact that I'm not going to edit out any of the boring stuff, or, you know, the stuff that's not super pretty, the things that just take a little while, because part of horse training is that it's not always perfect. Sometimes things are going to take a little bit longer, or just going to be a little slow and boring. So we're just going to leave that all in there for everybody to see so you can see the real side of training. So first things first, I'd gotten her warmed up beforehand. I just loped some circles to get her muscles warmed up, just so we weren't going into this, you know, cold or not stretched out. So I'm just going to lope her up here right now and then sit down and stop just to make her find her rate point. I'm just going to walk around this barrel a few times just to let her know kind of what we're doing. I always like to start my drill slow so they don't get too panicky or confused on what we're doing. So I'm just going to drop my hand down, and then when she floats away from the barrel, I'm going to pick my hand back up, steer her into it. There she's floating her shoulder, so I kind of spun a few circles just to get her driving through there. Again, drop my hand, wait for her to make a mistake, and then bring her back. With colts, and I guess any horse for that matter of fact, I like to wait for them to make a big mistake. I don't want to pick on them and kind of try to fix every little thing. I want them to make mistakes that they can learn from them. Same thing as if you were a person. So I'm going to get her trotting now, move her away from the barrel. Just going to kind of turn and come right back at it. You see she kind of want to pick up a lope, so I just made her slow back down. Drop my hand. There, she didn't hunt the barrel at all. You see she kind of turned her face away, so I picked my hand up and steered her back to it. Drop my hand again. You can see how she's hunting it there by herself. And I'm just going to, anytime she floats away, I'm going to pick my hand up. Here I'm going to counter bend her away. Just kind of change it up on her. I'll do a lot of counter bending away from barrels, going away from it in a straight line. Just anything that you can do kind of to test them and to change it up on them. So here I'm dropping my hand, I'm going to ride her away from it. When I'm going around the turn, I'm going to take my legs off her too so that I'm not helping her. It's really hard as a rider to not want to be helping them, but that's really crucial for this kind of drill. Put my hand down, taking my legs off her, just letting her find it. There she floated out, so I picked my hand up and steered her back, put my hand back down to her find it. You can see there she really got by it and quit paying attention, so I picked her back up and made her focus towards the turn. There she's starting to hunt it, so I'll ride her out of it again. Now I'm going to bump her into a lope, set her right back up to the turn. I'm going to help her right going into it and then drop my hand in hopes that she'll find it. I'd like to see her driving through there just a little bit harder. You can see she's not trying very hard, so I'm just going to pick my hand up and use my outside leg to kind of kick her in towards the turn and make her hunt it. Now I'll put my hand back down. You can see she's finding the turn and really driving through it all the way around by herself. When she floats out, I'll just pick my hand back up again and help. Again, I'm going to ride her out and come back towards this turn, just like I would at an approach like a second barrel. Help her right, put my hand back down and let her find it. Yep, right there you can see she kind of floated out, so I kind of checked her with my hand just to get her back attentive to that barrel. And here she was fixing herself and driving out of it. So then I drove her out of it, and then I just stopped and I changed my lead to the right, towards the right now, opening her up there. And then here I'm just doing some circles in front of the barrel because I could feel that she wasn't paying attention to me. So instead of going all the way to the barrel without her paying attention, I'm just going to fix her right here first, then go back to the barrel, drop my hand, take my legs off her, make her find it. Yep, right there she floated out, so I just kind of bumped her with my hand back towards the turn. So right now the goal is everything towards the barrel. When she floats away or she gets distracted, I'm just going to go right back towards the barrel or make her turn in towards it. I'm not pulling her off of it. I'm going to test her a little bit more, go a little bit faster, make her find it. You can see there she didn't quite find it going into there, so I bumped her a few times. And I just stopped and make her sit there at the barrel because I want the barrel to be their happy spot. You can see there she's licking her lips and she's nice and relaxed the whole time. With this drill, I don't want to get them too worried about it. I want to just keep things nice and easy and make that barrel really their happy spot. I really liked how she drove all the way through there, but you can see on that backside how she kind of falls apart and she quits driving. That's what our issue is on the normal barrel pattern. So I just made her turn that around a few times until she was driving all the way through. I'm going to lope her back out, and then I'm going to bring her back to the barrel. There she really hunted it around the whole time. I'm just going to pick her up and counterbend her around it just to get those shoulders driving through a little bit more because she kind of floats her outside shoulder out a little bit. Keep forward momentum the whole time through this. I'm going to bring her back towards the barrel, drop my hand again, and there she's driving all the way through. I'll just sit down and stop and pet on her and reward her. I'm going to go back to the left. You can see how much better already she's starting to hunt the barrel. I don't have to help her very much at all anymore to the left. And then to get them to drive out, I'll just pick my hand up and pull myself forward with my horn to get them to leave the turn. That's what I like to use as my cue to leave a barrel, is when I pull myself forward on my horn and ride my legs out with them. I'm going to go a little bit faster here to test her a little bit. There she drove really good all the way through, so I only turned that one once. Then I'm just going to bring her right back to this barrel and let her sit here for a reward, just so she can kind of think about it. And again, I like to make the barrel their happy spot. So to finish up here, I'm just going to test her both directions. I'm going to go to the left first. You can see there she really hunted it all the way around without me helping her. And I'm going to switch my lead to the right here. I kind of went off frame and you couldn't see me loping a circle, but I was loping a circle to the right before I came back up to the barrel. So there I am again. I'm just going to lope her up here. She did kind of float out right here and I had to bring her back, but then I dropped my hand again and she kept hunting all the way around it. I just brought her right back around that turn since she kind of floated out going into a little bit. Then I'm just going to lope her right back up here, sit down, make her come back to me, and then I'm just going to trot around this. Just pick my hands up and kind of help her a little bit just to finish up here. Put my hand back down and make sure that she's finding it so that we end on a good note. Then we're just going to stop and make her stand there and think about it and get all relaxed. I always like to finish my drills with a lot of standing. I do a lot of standing and waiting on my horses just to make sure that they're being patient. Then I'll always go back through and walk them through whatever I'm doing just so that they slow back down and know that it's not all about going fast.